Be the most comprehensible guide on why your YouTube channel is not getting any views and what to do about it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Canup. I have made a few $1 million off of YouTube now, and I have ran over 50 successful YouTube channels, and I specify in long format content and typically more faceless YouTube channels. I do have some personal brands, and some of the stuff that will apply to this training will apply to personal brands, but long format content, why you're not getting views and why you're not able to break through the algorithm and become a full-time creator and be able to live life on your own terms and do whatever you want and to have a successful, profitable YouTube channel. So watch this guide. You guys are gonna enjoy it. It's pretty deep, but I made sure to cover everything that you could possibly think of after coaching thousands of students now over the past 4 years, and I just want to give it all away. So enjoy. Welcome to the channel not getting views training. So when I originally went to record this thing, I thought it was gonna be a quick guide, but this bar none has been one of the most common issues that I've seen with beginner YouTubers that are trying to get results on YouTube. And you would think it's a pretty simple answer, but it's not. There's a lot of things that go into it, so I want to make sure I cover all of the things that go through my head whenever someone asks me, is this channel, why am I not getting views on my channel? So, and this is after coaching thousands of people in the YouTube space for the past few years, and so this guide's going to be pretty comprehensible, and I'm going to cover everything inside of here. And if I have updates in the future, I'll probably remake this, just because it's like I want to make sure you guys get this right, because it's kind of a little bit disappointing when you get started and you're not getting any views on your YouTube channel, and you're like, why am I not getting results? You feel like you put all this work into it. And so we're going to break that down inside of here, why you're not getting results, and you'll have a pretty good idea inside of here by the end of this, like what's going on. And at least, from me as an expert that's gotten over 1 billion views on YouTube, what I've learned in my process of running over 50 faceless YouTube channels, over 50 different YouTube channels, and just working with so many people. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. So when it comes to not getting views, we want to find out what is a victim mindset versus what is ownership and what is actually your responsibility. My biggest recommendation in business, bar none, is always to have extreme ownership, is to always think everything is your fault. You're the reason for the issue. Now, there are certain occasions when it's out of your control. So, and especially depending on the size of your channel, the stage that you're in, and then also I'll give you guys some other ways, other approaches to, if you make great content, here's a fix for it. So, first of all, what's in my control versus out of my control? In my control would be the content quality, consistency in posting your videos, SEO optimization, because YouTube is a search platform, and so you need to get the search right. When you're bigger, it's less important, because you can just, if you have good content that can kind of carry things. I've had it to where I do no title as a title in the video, so you get 100,000 views. But when you're getting started, you have to kind of play the game. And then as you get bigger, you'll notice a lot of YouTubers, I know Mr. Beast for a long time, he had no description or tags in his videos. And it's just because the algorithm's gotten pretty sophisticated at this point. But when you're getting started, you need to point the algorithm in the right direction, because if you get 10 views and they're all bad data, or 10 impressions and just no one wants to click on your video, it'll confuse the algorithm and make it take even longer to get results. Engagement is pretty controllable. You can also CTA people. It's the language of your content. Certain content is far significantly more engaging than other content. And then the thumbnail design and video packaging. This is probably 80% of the results on most videos is the idea and the thumbnail design and the packaging of the idea. And then your content, the quality of the content is the execution of the content, is the thing that creates people that want to watch your videos and watch your videos over and over again. So these are in your control. You can control these things. It's ultimately a skill issue. My opinion, after watching this training, if you're not getting views, it's because it's a skill issue, or you just didn't watch this training at this point and apply the things that we're talking about inside of here. So out of my control, or out of your control, when you're smaller. When you're bigger, these things are kind of pretty much in your control. But when you're smaller, these are the things that are out of your control. Is the algorithm changes from time to time, you know? And I see it's far too often people play the victim mindset. Oh, it's the algorithm's fault. But I'm going to make sure that you guys know inside of here what's your fault and what's the algorithm's fault. The next thing is viewer behavior. Things change. Marketplace changes. You have to adapt with it, though. Like, things change. And so you have to adapt with change. What works today, like what worked 3 years ago, doesn't work today. And a lot of times, the market changes pretty quick. Like every 6 months, the market changes. So you have to be with the curve. You'd be surprised how many channels I see that have like killed it for years and then they just got lazy. And because the market kept changing, they didn't adapt with the times and then their channel fell off. I see it happen to channels that are making $1 million months with their YouTube channel. They fall off because they don't stick with the trends. It happens to everybody. And so you got to be ahead of the curve. You have to adapt with the times. You have to change with the change that is happening on the platform. The next thing is competitor actions. Like there can be stuff happening. Like there's one niche where a guy, he created a Discord server and he told everybody in that server that if anybody was mimicking his channel, to go flag it and to dislike it and to basically make it so the algorithm wouldn't promote it. And like say it was like racial or something like that. You just flag the crap out of the system. And so there are some circumstances where that happens. It's kind of dirty, yeah. But, you know, that's out of your control. Like if you're persistent, if you keep showing up, that's in your control. You know, you may have to be a little bit patient. You may have to kind of like resist, you know, just keep going after it until they break through. Eventually things will fall out and opportunity will be available and won't show up. But yeah, there's just weird things that do happen like that sometimes. Platform-wide trends, you know, just trends change as I was talking about earlier. So now that doesn't give you an excuse to, if you're not getting views, it's because, you know, it's something that's out of your control. Just take extreme ownership. Think that everything is your fault. Take ownership of everything. And I'll tell you when you should decide to pivot or to go a different direction, or when to quit and to give up, which is never. But I'll tell you when that point comes and when you should make a different change. I'm not saying you should quit. Like the dumbest thing you could do is quit after getting going, because I see it far often people start up another channel and then they make like 10 grand in their first week of doing the new channel. So, all right. Now that we got that out of the way, what's in my control versus what's out of my control, here's some don'ts, some disclaimers, because I see this far too often where people do this stuff and I just want you guys to knock it off. I see people try to find gimmicks and cheat and find ways around the system. If you guys cheat the system, you're just cheating yourselves. You're removing your ability to improve and to get better, and you're robbing that from yourself. And so instead of robbing that experience from yourself, and instead of becoming this person that has to get views and is cheating the way of doing it, just know you're setting yourself up for failure. And I'm saying this from personal experience. My first ever YouTube channel, I taught people how to flip real estate. This was like 6 years ago now. And when I did the real estate channel, I wasn't getting views at first. And what did I do? I went and bought views. And when I bought views, I got a lot of views in a couple of days. And then when they went away, I wasn't getting any more views. Nothing happened, basically. And if anything, it probably set me back more than anything. And I was trying to find this skill efficiency. And we can blame this to the Instagram, to Instagram. People think that subscribers are cool and that if you have subscribers, that means they're hot shit. I'll tell you this. Subscribers are nothing but a vanity metric. Even views to a certain extent is a vanity metric. None of that shit matters if you're not making money and if you're not growing, if you're not getting better. Just to be real with you guys watching this video. So what you want to do is focus on getting better. If you're not getting views, there's a few circumstances where it's like out of your control and you got to find a different approach, or getting better. So just make sure that you're not trying to cheat the system. I'm going to give you all the hacks. I'm going to tell you all the things to do to get the most amount of views. Anything that's outside of this, that's like a way to buy views or to get bots to watch your content, don't do that. Waste of time. Or if you're paying for ads, it's not going to fix your thing. It's like the example I have, the analogy I have is, imagine you have a rusty old lawnmower. If you haven't mowed the lawn for months, and then you go grab this lawnmower and you haven't used it for like since the whole winter season, and you just start like ripping on that thing. And if it's rusted out, if the thing's rusted out and you're just ripping on the thing, pulling the string to get it going and to get it started, it's going to be a pain in the ass versus if you just took care of the thing, maybe like lubed up the spark plug, took the engine out, put it back in, and then like, you made sure there's a good engine, and then it's all oiled up and it was all set up, and then you start it starts up right away. And content is that same exact thing where it's like most of you just have a really nasty lawnmower. It's really hard to start up. It's not a good piece of content. No one wants to use that the lawnmower barely even works. It's like why would I want to use that thing? It's like, oh, we gotta go cut the grass. It's like, do you rather have the nice lawnmower? And the same with your content. If you don't have good content, no amount of promotion is going to change the results of your videos. And so make sure you have good content. And so we'll kind of go into that in a second, but make sure you get good. You want to be good, so it's easy for you because like there's no shortcuts. I'm going to give you the hacks, but quit trying to find shortcuts. So initial self-diagnosis. Do you have less than 10 videos on your channel? If you're a brand new YouTuber, you've never done this before, you've never started a YouTube channel before, if you have less than 10 videos on your channel, keep uploading. Like, it's probably, you just, like some channels, you have to get to around 5 or 8 uploads before you get a viral video. Now, mind you, I've had many channels where I upload the first video and it gets a million views. It happens. But good, safe bet, get to 5, 8 uploads, and then kind of start judging the content. Typically around 10 is the cutoff that I will have. And then I'll kind of judge my assessment from here. So you're still in the early stages, give it time, focus on learning and improving with each upload. My whole fundamental concept, especially if you're a beginner, uploading a video and not learning something is a waste of an investment. It's a waste of money. It's like literally burning cash and throwing it away. But as long as you're learning something every single video that you upload, that's worth its weight in gold. That is worth more than any amount of money that you get paid from a video is by learning from each upload. And you just focus it on skill acquisition over, getting lots of views and making lots of money. And that will set you up in the long run and allow you to get to where you can make significantly more money. So now let's say you're at 10 uploads. Review your channel and the direction. So if you're a student in my program, get on a call with a coach or myself, or get in a group coaching call. Let's do a channel review. Let's check it out. Let's look at the competitors' videos. Let's look at your videos. Let's break it down, the packaging, the ideas, make sure it's all good, make sure it all checks off, and make sure that everything's good. And if you're a student, I'd recommend doing it around like video upload 5 too, just so then you can make sure that you're going in the right direction. If you're around 10, let's definitely get on a video, like on a call, and make sure that you're heading in the right direction. So if you have moderate results, like, a few videos are getting over 1,000 views, probably keep going to video 20, especially if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, just expect to get the video 20 or video 30 before you make any decisions. If you've already had a YouTube channel or, whatever, like, or you're getting absolutely no views after 10 videos. Like if you've uploaded 10 videos, not a single video is over 20 views, then I'd be kind of concerned, or like over 100 views. If not a single video is over 100 views after 10 videos, I'd be pretty damn concerned. Like, you need to figure out how to get your videos better or to fix the problem that your channel faces instead of just throwing more money into this thing. So if you're not getting results after 10, we'll go through the exercises on the ways to pivot and stuff if you do have some of these potential issues. And then if you are getting moderate results, I'd probably get to like around video 20 or 30 before you make any big, huge, dramatic decisions. Okay, so now the question that you want to ask yourself, are you getting impressions? If you're not getting any impressions at all after 10 uploads, it probably means that you might be shadow banned. And so all that it means, if you're shadow banned, and I kind of put this at a weird spot, but typically more competitive channels that are borderline of YouTube's community guidelines is typically the issue. Like if you're using violence, guns, you're swearing a lot, they're going to be, and you have a brand new YouTube channel that you just set up, they're going to be a lot more hesitant to promoting your channel. So this would be an example of like a body cam niche or something that's a little bit more on the side of just it, there's more danger there. There's guns involved. There's people swearing, there's nudity or anything like that potentially on screen. So you want to make sure videos as PG-13 as possible. And let me add that on here. Make PG-13 as possible. And when I say PG-13, I mean like back in the 90s. like back in the 90s, PG-13, because obviously PG-13 today is completely different than what it used to be. So that'll help you get around the community guidelines. So the next thing is be patient. Sometimes if you're in a little bit more of an evergreen niche, they just are a little bit hesitant. Like it's a little bit less trusting of an audience. And so if you have more evergreen content, you want to be a little bit more patient. And then if after 10 uploads, none are getting views and content is good, you're probably shadow banned. So I'm going to go through what it means to have good content here in a moment. If you're a beginner watching this, you're probably not shadow banned. You probably just suck at making content. The only way I would say you're shadow banned potentially is that, if you're in like one of these more sketchy niches. If you're not, it's a skill issue. I see often a lot of beginners, people that are getting started, which is probably most people watching this video because they're the ones interested. Why am I not getting views? Is you're probably just suck at making content, like just flat out. Like not trying to be rude here, but it's just that's typically a lot of times the issue. The cure to this, a lot of times, like I've had students where they'll upload videos, they're not getting views. They'll upload 15 videos, they're high quality, none of them are getting views. Like one of them gets over 1,000 views maybe. Just wait it out, and what they did was they waited it out. 6 months later, all of a sudden one of the videos got 50,000 views, just really quick, instantaneously. So sometimes you just have to wait. YouTube is a little bit more hesitant with like newer channels. They want to see that you've been on the platform for a little bit longer. You're not just trying to like abuse their community guidelines and stuff and be on the edge of it. They allow this content. It's fine. It's just like it's a little bit risky for them as a platform, and so they are a little bit hesitant to it. Some other things you can do, we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Get an end screen. Change thumbnails every so often. Every time you change your thumbnail, sometimes you get new impressions, and then post on end screens. And you just want to post on end screens. I just repeated myself. But you want to make sure that your content is good, and then changing thumbnails every so often. Oh, and then you're just trying to get eyeballs. You're just trying to get out of this kind of like no view zone. So, and just keep watching this video. There's gonna be some other tactics inside of it where we're gonna address everything, like just so many ways. So just make sure to watch this entire training. And so that brings me over to my next point. So, are you still getting impressions? If getting more than 1,000 impressions a video, it's more likely to be a skill issue. Algorithm is pretty sophisticated now. So if you're getting impressions on your videos, like if you're getting no impressions, you could possibly be shadow banned. Get to 10 uploads before you make any judgments too quick. And that's how you know that you're shadow banned. You're just not getting impressions. Like you're just not getting views. Like anything is being shown to your channel. You're probably getting shadow banned, or your content's just really, really bad. Which probably not the case if you are sensible here. And then if you're getting more than 1,000 impressions on a video, it's more likely to be a skill issue. Algorithm is pretty sophisticated now. So I know I just repeated myself, but just want to make sure that you guys know that. Skill issue if getting impressions. And then A/B tested thumbnails and titles. So compare different styles based on what's working for successful channels. Every time when you change a thumbnail, I just mentioned this earlier, it can insert more views or more impressions, which can lead to more views. And a lot of times, something that's like really important that we're going to jump into next is, or here in a moment, is a lot of times the difference of a 1 million view video and a video that gets like 100 views is just a small few tweaks. When you're a new channel, like there's just a small few things, and so you never know like what that actual thing is. And sometimes it's the packaging, sometimes it's the title. It's like really small, subtle things. That's why in a moment we're going to talk about why you want to limit the amount of variables that you're testing when you're getting started. But a lot of times it's nothing that crazy. So always kind of test new titles, new thumbnails, just kind of swapping them out every so often. I recommend swapping them out probably like every 1,000 impressions or so. If your video starts to die off and stuff, just swap the thumbnail and you'll get fresh eyeballs, fresh impressions, and you can do that a few times until your channel gets blows up. I wouldn't change anything too drastic, just change small little tweaks. If you have a really good packaging style, you can even just change the metadata of the thumbnail and re-upload it, and the YouTube algorithm will treat it slightly different, so it'll get you more impressions. Some things that'll help. So watching your own videos. If you're brand new, I kind of just do this every time when I start a new channel. To accelerate the learning, like the curve with YouTube, is I will set up multiple channels in multiple new YouTube channels and I will go watch a bunch of the competitors' videos on that channel. I'll watch like 20 of them, like it, subscribe, comment. And then what I will do is I will watch my own videos after watching a bunch of the competitors. And then I will show YouTube that I'm like an obsessed viewer and that I love this content as much as my other content that I like. And so I'll probably do this like 5 times, 10 times, or 10 different channels, 5 channels, 10 different channels. And then I will change my IP address with VPN a few times. That kind of really helps. And then using different devices also helps as well. So I'll use my iPhone, an iPad, my laptop, my desktop, and I'll watch my videos on all these different devices. And so I'll do that to get like 20 to 30 views. It's kind of like to help get YouTube to get a seed audience a lot faster. And then also another thing I do anytime I ever upload a video, if I ever see one of my own videos on my YouTube channel, even if I want to watch something else, I will watch that video, I'll click it and I will like it, I will comment on it, and then sometimes I'll just mute the tab and just let it run in the background. So then YouTube thinks that I love this content every time I see it, that I love it. So I want to kind of train that behavior until I get like a bigger audience essentially. So and then community tab posting. So this is something I recommend every person do is every channel now has a community tab. You used to think you have to have like 10,000 subscribers. Now everybody gets access to the community tab. And so what you want to do is just do like a poll or some sort of like, meme or something that's engaging on your community tab. Honestly, every day is what I would do, or at least like a few times a week. I've done this with other channels and it's gotten them literally a few extra million impressions a year by simply doing this a few times a week, and I'll get like an additional like 10,000 subscribers a year by doing this. Now obviously it's not like a huge difference, but when you're getting started, it's a big change in the direction of your momentum for your channel. So I recommend always doing this. Even if you are getting views, go do that. And then it has a different algorithm than your long form videos when you post on the community tab. So you actually end up getting like different eyeballs than you normally would with your long format videos, or at least it'll give you more eyeballs. And so that does really well. And that's why, like, when you do things that are more engaging, like polls, or you can do even like quizzes. And what's cool is you can schedule them out. You can schedule these out for like the next 6 months to go out. It's not like you have to do this every day. You can just schedule it. And when you do things like polls, they're high engaging, or memes, and it just gets more engagement and more attention on your channel. And then they'll go click on it, and then they'll watch a few videos, and then boom, now YouTube's like, ooh, these people like these on YouTube, like watching these videos. I'm gonna show more people like it. The next one is pinned comments. Always do this every single video. It's a waste of opportunity if you don't. High important info or drive engagement with a call to action. I love the Mr. Beast strategy where you do like clickbait spam, where you just, or like click spam or whatever you want to call it, spam bait, where you just say like subscribe or subscribe and I'll give you a cookie. And so you want to ask yourself like, what's your niche? If you're talking to lawyers, it's like subscribe to pass your bar exam or something like that. Subscribe for good luck, comment for good luck. I'll do stuff like that. It's like corny, but it's like, you want to make sure it's like applies to your niche and use it to direct viewers to other videos or playlists. You can do this as well as you kind of get a little bit more established and you have more content. I recommend just using it for a CTA a lot more. So next thing is dropping comments on other channels. So I do this more so to just get YouTube. I don't know. I'm very, very, I'm not the most superstitious person, but I have met a lot of YouTube people and they're extremely superstitious. A lot of social media, like content creators and influencers, they're insanely superstitious. And so one of my superstitions, if I had any, my YouTuber superstitions, is you kind of look like a bot if you're not like engaging on YouTube or spending any time on the platform. So whenever I set up a new channel, I try to go comment on a few other channels just that are in my niche and just kind of show up. So then YouTube's like, oh, okay, cool. Like this person's like an actual person. It's not like they're some sort of like a bot, that channel that just got set up and is never to be used. This is like an actual person. It's a person. It's like humanified of this channel. So I will always do that. Be genuine, provide value. Don't spam and just be like, subscribe to me, go subscribe, or sub for sub, or any of that stuff. Just go be genuine. Just go watch other people's videos and leave genuine comments. Next thing, engage with the audience or of channels similar to yours. Build visibility within your niche. That kind of helps. And then also shows YouTube you're a normal person, not a bot. So using shorts to get eyeballs. So I have had some students, like I am not a big fan of shorts personally. If you're a shorts creator, cool. This training really isn't for shorts people, really. I know probably some of the stuff will apply. I don't really know much about shorts personally, and I just always focus on long format content because it pays well. So shorts does have a different algorithm though. So if you post shorts, if you just use one of those softwares like I cannot think of any off the top of my head, but there's softwares where you can like clip your long format videos. I've had students where they use those softwares, post the shorts just to get monetized, and then or to kind of like get a bigger seed audience, and then they just take them down and quit posting. So just to kind of get that seed audience and kind of get some more eyeballs a lot faster. So it's a good approach there. And then now into this section, creme de la creme, view injection. So this is like if you can get this, that's money. You're set. So me as an experienced YouTuber, I'll do this other stuff, but it's like typically I start channels in niches that I have resources in. So if I already have a channel that has like getting 100,000 views a day in a niche, best thing you could do, set up another channel in that same exact niche, because you can launch one immediately and blow a channel up immediately. You can literally just end screen your videos from your popular channel and it will perform better. So what I will do typically is I will find, like, if I have a successful basketball channel, best thing you could do is set up another basketball channel and just end screen that thing. If you don't have a channel, the best thing you could do, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but if you can get an end screen from somebody else, you'll know immediately whether or not your videos are good, because you're going to get views and you'll get data. And when you have data, you can improve your content. But there's no established marketplace for this. It's typically like a friendly service that I've seen. You might be able to pay like $1,000 or $500 to get an end screen from another successful channel. But literally end screens is like, in the eyes of a competition, they're just like, oh, I'm literally creating a competitor by doing this. My thing is I love competition because that means we can create a bigger marketplace and have more people fall in love with watching these videos and become more interested in watching this content. So I have a good mindset on this. Most people aren't like that. So I'll typically do this sometimes for students if they're in my program. Or I'll have some of my students just hook up other students if they're cool and stuff, and it's pretty helpful. So end screens are always the best, and so you honestly don't want to do an end screen if like you don't have good content, or if you only have one video on your channel, unless you're like really strategic and you know what you're doing. If you have bad content, an end screen is just going to show you how bad your content is, because you're going to get an end screen. You're going to get a ton of views, like even if it's 50 or 100 views from an end screen, and then you're going to stop getting views as soon as that end screen stops. And if your channel's not blowing up at that point, it probably means your content sucks. Because the thing about end screens is they are, these are viewers related to the content of your videos. They're best viewers you can get. They're like super engaged audience. That means they just watched an entire video, especially if it was like a 20-minute video you end screen from. That person is the best viewer you could possibly have on YouTube. They're sitting there, they're watching lots of YouTube, and they're not clicking around. They're not leaving videos often. Like if they leave your video and the watch time sucks, and it's a similar audience, like you guys share audiences, then that means your content probably just really sucked, and that means you need to do better. And then also it's just like it increases the watch time. It's like the algorithm loves having people keep watching videos. So if you get end screen views and they love your content, you are going to you're going to grow really fast. It's kind of like, in the way that I would kind of picture it as like a mental model here, is it's like you're trying to do an organ transplant. If the organ is not a good fit for the body rejects the organ and kills it. If you're trying to put in a kidney or something like that. And if the kidney doesn't fit, it doesn't match the person, then the body will try to reject the kidney and kill it. Versus if it's a similar kidney and it fits the body, then the body will accept it and it will bring it in as its own. And the same with people on YouTube is they will accept it and they will watch it. Or if it doesn't fit into the algorithm, like if it's not similar to what they were just watching, they're going to reject it and not want to watch it, making it so the algorithm's just like, yeah, this channel sucks, your channel sucks, and people don't want to watch these videos. So do it if you have good content. It's very similar to the content that you're promoting. This is the best traffic source you can ever get as a brand new YouTube channel. Another option, collaborate with successful channels. This kind of more applies to personal brand channels, people with a face, or if someone has a community that's already established. So you can ask for collaborations or shout outs or, getting promoted. Hey, my friend just started a YouTube channel in this industry or something like that. Some communities are super collaborative, and then some of them are really douchey and like don't want anything to do with each other. So you have two different crowds there typically. The next thing, leverage community tab of successful channels. So this is a great feature. If you're featured on or mentioned on another creator's community post, it can drive significant traffic, and you can engage with the community by commenting on those posts to like increase your visibility. And so if you ever commented in a video too, maybe a competitor can even pin your comment. That's one that I didn't add on here. Or like when I say competitor, like someone else in your niche. I use the word competition, but it's like most people, I guess, now thinking about it, like they have a negative connotation with competition. Competition's a good thing. Like they're my best friends. I love competition. Like they're cool because it helps me improve. It helps me grow. It helps us all make more money when we have competition. It's fun. And it makes it fun. It's like boring when you're just like freaking the only person in your industry. It's not fun. Competition's a good thing. So then the next point that brings us over to how closely are you modeling your inspiration channel? So this is the analogy I have for you, is you want to apply scientific method to YouTube and to business and to growing something. And so you want to view the variables of your video as a science experiment. If you are testing lots of variables, it's hard to know which variable caused the reaction. Versus if you have a petri dish with a single, like with bacteria, with one type of bacteria, and you are testing one ingredient of a McDonald's hamburger, like a piece of lettuce, you're like, okay, cool. I know it's the lettuce that's the issue. But if you just throw a McDonald's hamburger that you blended and put into the petri dish, you're not going to know what the bacteria is reacting to. And so you want to have least amount of variables as possible. And so that brings me over to my next point here, which is you want to rate your videos on a scale of comparison of 1 to 5. So like, are you just using the channel as a loose inspiration? You could barely tell that you had it. You took some like a couple little ideas from it. Or did you feel like you just robbed this company from like this channel, its production team, and you're using their videos on your channel? So depends on the niche you're in. Some niches are cooler than others, I have found. But you want to, as a creator, get as close, like as a beginner, get as close to just stealing the other person's production style as possible. Besides stealing their graphics and stealing their like idea and their exact video. But what you want to do is you want to literally, like, if someone says how Elon Musk spends his billions, you do a video that's like how Jeff Bezos spends his billions. And if they do the intro, have you ever wondered how much Elon Musk spends? You should do. Have you ever wondered how much Jeff Bezos spends? And you want to one-to-one it as much as possible, especially if you're a beginner. Not only to like not have to, to limit variables and to know that this is working and that it's not the algorithm's fault for you getting results, but then also to get better at the process, to learn what does well on YouTube, to get a better grasp of how production works when it comes to content and when it comes to making YouTube videos. So you want to get as close to like emulating what's already out there as possible. If they use yellow, you use yellow. If they use blue, you use blue. If they use a piano song that is joyful, you use a piano song that's joyful. If they're using a bold, thick font, you use a bold, thick font. You do this to get into the algorithm. Once you start getting into the algorithm, once you start getting hundreds of thousands of views on your videos, then create your own thing. Then do your own thing. And start creating your own styles because now you have views and now you know whether or not your content is working or not because you're getting views on the videos. If you're getting less than 100 views on the videos, you could make the most masterful, like, crazy video of all time and not know if it was like not know because you're just not getting any views on the videos. And so you want to have an audience first. You want to get momentum. You want inertia. And when you have inertia and momentum, you can then start to test and play with variables. So at first, just get to where you're making like 5-10 grand a month. Get to where you're getting like 100,000 views a video. And then when you're at that point, then you can pivot and adjust and start to create your own thing and start to like create your own process. It's the internet. It's YouTube. Anybody can do anything here. It's like as long as you're not downloading someone else's video and uploading it and just blatantly robbing people and blatantly stealing people, this process is probably one of the best approaches to go. So don't steal people's art. Don't literally download and upload somebody else's thing, but instead mimic the format and mimic the process that they have. So that's you want to get really close to that. So emulate, don't copy, find a balance between what works and your own unique spin. You want to limit variables. Like my recommendation, just if they do a video about Elon Musk, you do a video about Jeff Bezos, do everything the same. If they do a biography about, they do a backstory of Elon in the video, you do a backstory of Jeff Bezos. If they do a all the cars that Elon Musk owns. You do all the cars that Jeff Bezos owns. You want it to feel exactly like the competitor's video. As we were talking about earlier in, the heart, like the organ example, you want to make sure that you're as close to having a model kidney or like a preferred kidney in a body as possible. So then, like you can get into the algorithm and then you can play with the variables a little bit and start to create your own unique spin once you're getting views. So you want to be as close to 5 as possible. Stay away from being a 1, where you're just kind of loosely inspired, but like inspired by a channel and not emulating it. So, and then this comes down to the next point is audit your content. So you want to have a very, like, I see sunk cost fallacy get the most of people here in this process a lot. So you want to audit your content from a very logical, unemotional, unattached process as possible. This is hard for a lot of people because they invest a lot of emotions into their channel. And when you're emotional about it, you can't make good decisions. So what you want to do is have a very logical approach. Like you want to pretend like you just found this YouTube channel. Go watch the competitors' videos and then go watch yours. And if you need help, go ask a friend to do this. Like that doesn't care, but is a nuanced person that pays attention to detail. So you want to compare yourself, and it's like, is your stuff as good as other people's? If it's not as good, it's like, why should this video get views ultimately? And it doesn't mean that you have to like have this fancy editing and pay $1,000 a video or anything. It's just like, is the value there? Is the substance there? Does it generate the same feeling in the content as a competitor's video does? And so it's like, you want to be very nuanced with this. Compare the thumbnails. Like, what are they using? Are they using yellow arrows? Okay, are they doing a stroke around the arrow? Are they doing a drop shadow around the arrow? Are they doing an outline around the person in the video? What type of, are they using an animated version of the person? Are they doing a real live photo of the person? Are they smiling in the picture? Are they frowning in the picture? Are they, like, you want, like, what color are they using in the background? Why are they using that color? You want to get very granular. That's just with the thumbnail. Same with the title. It's like, title should be pretty one-to-one. You should be pretty uninventive when it comes to titles. At least when you're getting started. When you get 100,000 views on a video, you can start to create. Because now, if your videos aren't doing good, it's because they're not good. And you actually know it. And not because you're just a small channel and a small creator that doesn't have any viewers. And then video structure of your content against your inspiration channel. It's just, do you have the same outline style as they do or not? And then a lot of it comes down to like the 80-20 of your YouTube, of your content is the packaging, the idea, like top down of the process is, I would say, the idea, the packaging, the intro, and the actual execution, or like the talking points. So these things right here are and then I would say like audio quality. That one's probably like actually up here. Because video quality, I've had videos where they're like boring as hell visually and they still do really well. So the idea, the packaging, audio quality, like make sure it's watchable. Like that's what I would say, like is watchable. Because is not watchable. I know it's like a double negative there, but it's just like you want to make sure that it's like it doesn't like it's not so bad that you're like, I can't even stand listening to this. Because for me, I'm really sensitive when it comes to watching videos, and I'm just like, dude, this sucks. I can't watch it. So you kind of want to build that radar. And then the intro and the talking points. So these things right here are typically the most important things. So I would, like, sometimes I literally just look at someone's channel. I'm like, dude, these ideas suck. This is why you're not getting views. And then typically I'll look at the packaging. I'll look at their packaging. I'll look at the competitor's packaging. And then I'll ask myself, is this video watchable? And then I'll watch the intro. I'm like, okay, like, does this deliver on the click? And then what are the talking points inside of it? Is it interesting or is it pretty boring? Those 5 things typically like are set the scene for majority of the video and how well you're emulating your competition. So audit your content, get really good at this skill set. This is like one of the skill sets to learn. This part right here is typically like 95% of the reason people aren't getting views. I can't emphasize this enough, that all the stuff inside of here, I'm going to give you all these tactics, strategies, and hacks of getting around it. Typically, it's because your content just sucks, like straight up, and you just are a beginner and you're just trying to create something new. I see this a lot with like older people, is they try to do something so new on the platform. You genuinely just want to be unoriginal when you're getting started. I know YouTube's like this creative platform. It's just like you get to express yourself and all this stuff, but I view it as a business, and I'm here to make money with this thing, and that is my biggest priority: is how do I get to where I'm making money with this thing. And if that's your priority too, like you need to make money so you can quit your job or like have freedom and live life on your own terms and become a full-time creator, you need to just go do what's already working and get to where this can be your full-time thing, and then you have the luxury of being creative. If you don't have time to put into this, you don't have the luxury of being creative. It's just like creative things, like creative ideas, things are actually creative, take lots of time. It takes your full being to be creative. And so, A, if you never had success before, or B, if you never made money on this before and like you've never made a viral video before, go do what's already working. I'm not saying literally download and upload someone else's video, but I'm saying go remake what's already out there. The analogy I have here is just like imagine a UFO landed in your backyard and you wanted to build another UFO. What are you going to do? You're going to take apart the UFO. You're going to try to understand what all the pieces do, and you're going to remake it. You're probably going to suck because you're not some sort of engineer. Maybe you are an engineer watching this video and you're a G at rebuilding UFOs. But you want to treat it like UFO landed in your backyard and you're rebuilding the UFO. Same when it comes to YouTube videos. You want to tear down these things, like so nuanced, granular, and then understand what it is that they're doing to a T in all the different fashions of like what's the language they use, what's the tone they use, who's their viewer avatar, what's the font that they use, what sound effects do they use, how loud are the sound effects, like how do they actually produce these videos, where do they get the clips, like all this stuff. You want to get really nitty gritty nuanced about it, because when you get to that point, you can understand why they're doing so well. And you can print cash. You can make 30 grand a month if you just get really good at this process. It sounds like a lot of work, yes, but when you figure it out, you can make bank. Like it's just the question is 30 grand a month a lot of money to you? If it is, okay, cool. Right, you need to do the work. If you don't really care about 30 grand a month, then it's okay. You can skip out on this process. You know, maybe go hire somebody that does care about 30 grand a month to work for you, or making a lot of money to care for you. So you want to just really like, because I always just like. I can't like. I wish like on a volume sense. I know like this entire doc. This is like literally like 5% of this entire doc. This is 90% of it all. 95% of it all is going deep into all this and super breaking down what is working and getting a full grasp of things. So I don't know if I can touch on that enough, but this is majority of why you're probably not getting views and why your content sucks. Like. You just got to be honest with yourself. There's nothing emotional. There's nothing personal. There's nothing at all. If you're taking this personal, watching this part, that tells you more about yourself than it does about me. I'm just being straight with you. I don't know who you are. I don't know your feelings. I don't care about your feelings. I care about your results, and that's why I'm making this training. So it's probably because your content's not that good. You didn't really break it down. You need to go figure out why is it so good. And then you need to do that again and again and again and again until you're like, okay, I feel like I get it now. And then do it again and again and again. And then you're like, okay, I still I think I get it. And then again and again and again and again. You get the point. So, okay. You guys get it? Capiche? Caposh. All right, cool. Sweet. This really is like majority of the training here, to be honest with you guys. With the odd occasion that shadow banning actually happens, but majority of it is. Okay, so using other social media platforms. So using niche communities and groups. Forums like Reddit and Facebook groups are pretty solid. I like to have niche communities. So like if I'm running a history channel, I want to go find historians, especially like if I'm doing ancient history content, I want to post my ancient history content in ancient history groups. So that way, those people that are super fans of the content, they'll go watch it, and they're probably more likely to watch it because they're super fans of the niche. So and then what you want to do is you want to do it like you're one of those nerds in the niche, and you're just a normal bystander who happened upon this content and be like, yo, did you guys see this? Is this accurate? Is this real? So that's how I use niche communities and groups. Some communities are not the biggest fans of you posting stuff. Some are all for it, and this can get you a lot of views to get started. And then using other short form platforms. So typically someone that likes to watch Reels, TikToks, or scroll through X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it now these days, is a different type of viewer than long form YouTube videos. So they're not the best audience. One time I actually had this guy who was like super famous on TikTok. I mean, he had like 4 or 5 million views, and I had him build me a TikTok page for one of my YouTube channels. and we got like 400,000 views on TikTok in the span of like 2 months. It was like crazy. Do you want to know how much that converted to in viewers and revenue on the YouTube channel? I think we got to where we made like $300 or $500 worth of views from all, we got to like, I think like 50,000 views from the channel, and we made like $300 or something like that. Even though we got this massive amount of views, it did not really convert well. Now, if you're a personal brand, it does work a lot better, and you have a personal brand YouTube channel, it's like, you know, they just feel like they get to spend more time with you and become even more closer to you as a friend. But when you're a faceless YouTube channel, I found it's honestly not that good of a content. Just put all of your resources and points into making really good like put all of your resources into making good videos, like genuinely all of your attention and resources into there. So algorithm pitfalls and issues. Understanding the algorithm, it prioritizes watch time, session duration, and engagement. And so the question you need to ask yourself is like, are you keeping your viewers engaged or causing drop-offs? Are you causing people to leave the YouTube entirely? They're quitting out of the app after watching your content, or are they so engaged they're addicted to your content and can't wait for another video? So we call this like viewer satisfaction level after watching your videos. There's no official metric for this other than average views per video on your YouTube channel, which it's a very hard to find metric. But you're a small creator, you don't really have this metric. You just want to ask yourself, like, is the viewer satisfaction level really high on your content? When you're an advanced creator and you want to go make a ton of money, you look at like viewer satisfaction level like highly. You look at all the metrics that align with that, like average views per viewer and stuff like that. So, but if you're just, this training is obviously if you're not getting any views, it's just ask yourself, like, is someone likely to go watch multiple of these videos? And a good metric of that is like, if you're not satisfied watching your videos and obsessed, then I doubt anybody else is, to like full transparency. And quick riff on that, I see a lot of people, they build YouTube channels because they're just like, I just want to make money. Dude, like going back to this point, or gal, like, just if the money means a lot to you, find a way to get upset. Like if you're like, okay, yeah, I'm getting paid 30 grand a month from doing this, like just act as if you are. Would you be obsessed if you were making 30 grand a month from the thing you're doing? Probably. You'd be like, yeah, I'm freaking reading all the newspapers and magazines and watching all the news because I'm rich now. If that's the case, you'll become obsessed. Quit being lazy. So, I don't know if you guys can tell, but a lot of times the reason why people are getting views isn't because of YouTube. It's because of like their mindset and the mentality and who the person is. And a lot of times people push away success more so than it is like that it's impossible or they're not lucky or something like that. A lot of times people create their own reality, and no views is one of those things. So with that being said, do they want to watch more YouTube, or do they feel like they want to get off the platform? So common mistakes. So I see some people, they really struggle with this. They'll post like, they'll post 5 videos in a day and then not upload again for another month. And then they'll upload 5 videos in a day and not upload for another month. Trick here, upload as to what is consistent with your production schedule. If you can consistently get out 5 videos a month, space out a video basically like every week. If you could post 3 videos a week, don't post 3 videos in a row on the same day and then not post for another week. Post on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or something like that. Post consistently as your production schedule allows for it. Don't post all over the place. And then, because it can confuse the algorithm and your audience when you post inconsistently. They don't know how to they don't know how to file your videos into their algorithm and stuff. So you want to post you want to post pretty consistent upload schedule. So and sometimes one strategy that I will play with if I'm hitting like view caps is I'll play with the uploading schedule. I'll kind of like upload a bunch and then I'll upload a lot less, and I'll stimulate it in different ways, and sometimes that'll reshelf my content a lot better and give me more views. So clickbait titles and thumbnails. If you over clickbait, it can harm retention and long-term trust. I always just recommend emulating what's already working out there and just do what they're doing. And then a lot of times people just aren't delivering on the click. So if you make a big bold promise, like if I say I'm going to give away like a Rolex, then I need to actually give you away a Rolex. So you want to, like, if you're making a bold claim, you want to deliver on that claim. So, and then also you can leverage. Okay, so this is kind of a deep-rooted topic I just threw in here. So you want to leverage pre-existing behaviors instead of just creating your own behaviors. The best marketers in the world are people that create new behaviors, and that's why they're the best marketers in the world. Most of marketing is leveraging current desires and current pains and current, momentum and inertia that their target audience has, and then transmutating that into a behavior that serves them. And so you want to just leverage pre-existing behaviors instead of creating new behaviors. People don't want to lose weight, they want to take a pill. So when it comes to your content, if they're already used to clicking on a certain style, this is another reason why emulation is so important when you're getting started. If people are already used to a certain behavior of clicking on a certain style of thumbnail, you don't want to create a new style that's never been done before if you're a complete beginner and you have no views on your channel, because they don't trust it. We live in a trust recession these days. And so what that means is people don't trust new things. It's just like I don't know, they've just been scammed so many times, like not necessarily financially by watching people's videos all the time, whereas that does happen, but they're like scammed of like their time and their attention, and they were told they were going to get something and they got something completely else. So you want to make sure that you leverage pre-existing behaviors instead of creating new behaviors, because they don't trust new things. And so just that's why just emulate what other people are doing. And then when you start getting an audience, then you can try new things and create new behaviors, because you have an audience and you have inertia and you have momentum. But when you're getting started, just do what's already working. And then when you're getting views and when you're getting, you're making money and you have time to be creative, you can start being creative and trying your own things out. So another common mistake is not optimizing for SEO. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And so with that being said, it is heavily searched until it's not. So if you're getting like 10,000 views a video, you can have no tags, no description, barely have a title, and still get views. And if you have a lot of momentum. But if you're smaller, I've tried, I've done my, once I got bigger, I got so used to having these no tag tendencies where I don't put any tags or description. I just upload a title and a video. My videos wouldn't get any views, actually, I found. So what I started doing is whenever I have a new YouTube channel, I make sure to link it with tags and SEO and description, just to kind of get a little bit of some linking. And then once I get momentum, I stop doing it as much. But I'll do things like broad niche. So if this YouTube video, if I post it on YouTube, I would say business, entrepreneurship, YouTube, and then YouTube tips and tricks. So I'd be going pretty broad, and then I would do something specific. So if this video specifically, channel not getting views, I'd do YouTube channel not getting views as one of the titles. Devin Canup, YouTube tips. Devin Canup not getting views. So I would do a few things like that are way more specific, that rank the title in SEO. And then I do niche linking in the SEO as well. It's entrepreneurship, business. So if you have a basketball channel, do basketball, NBA. Yeah, just those two, honestly. You don't want if you don't have LeBron James in the video, don't put LeBron James in the tags, but do what is inclusive. So if it's basketball, if it's a basketball video about Steph Curry, if you don't know who that is, it's okay. Let's do Michael Jordan. If it's about Michael Jordan, do basketball, NBA, Michael Jordan. And if it's a video about how good was Michael Jordan actually, you do how good was Michael Jordan actually. And that's what you would do for the text, and then probably your channel name. So, and then I'll do probably a couple competitors' channel names as well. This is such a comprehensive guide. I thought it was going to be a simple thing, but there's a lot of these little things that make a huge difference. So, should you start a new niche? Let's say that you're doing this and you're not able to make money after uploading 20, 30 videos. So this is the question. Should you start a new niche? So here's the thing. Is you want to assess the situation. Is your current niche too competitive or overly saturated? When I say this, I need to be very specific. You want to ask yourself, this is the more important question. Are people starting 3 months ago and making 30K a month and their videos suck? If so, it just means that you suck, genuinely. But are there no new channels, and the channels that are the biggest barely making 30K a month? If so, then that probably means that it's not a good niche. So a lot of times it's the opportunity sometimes. So I know a lot of times sometimes is what I said. But if there's new channels, new people, they just got started, they're making bank, and they don't have other bigger channels that they're using to promote this, and they don't have an audience on another platform promoting this, typically it just means a skill issue if you're not getting results. But a lot of times I see people go upload 20, 30 videos. They ask for a channel review, without going through my program. And I look at their channel and I'm like, what the hell is this thing? Like, who are you emulating? They're like, oh, I saw this channel and like that, like I saw this one channel one time. I'm like, okay, send me the link. And they're like, I I don't know what it was. I'm like, okay, what the hell are you using to emulate this? They're like, Brightside. Which, if you know, Brightside is like such a broad channel or infographic show. And so what you want to do is ask yourself, like, is there only big channels in this, or is there new channels that literally started 3 months ago making $30K a month? If there's no new channels making money with this, and especially if the bigger channels are not making any money, this is probably a terrible niche that you picked. Hopefully you were trying to monetize this as a business. Otherwise, an ad revenue sake, like, this is a terrible idea. So if you're super beginner watching this video, use viewstats.com. It's pretty accurate when it comes to I'll just add it for you guys. That website's pretty good for being able to understand how much money channels are making. Too broad. Consider pivoting to a sub niche with less competition but similar interests. So if you're doing a basketball channel, just general basketball videos, maybe go more specific, like basketball documentaries, basketball drama, or basketball game breakdowns, like championship game breakdowns or something like that. If it's too niche, consider increasing your TAM by incorporating more pop culture. How to hire lawyers for your law firm, lawyer reacts to suits. So like if it's lawyers for your, like how to hire lawyers for your law firm, that's super niche. But if you do a video on lawyer reacts to the television show Suits, that's viral because it's pop culture. So it's still a niche. It's about lawyers, but when you increase your TAM, and it makes it so you have a lot more viral potential. So a lot of times it's like, do you have viral potential? If not, okay, that's probably why you're not getting that many views. There's not even that many people in the marketplace to begin with. So passion versus market demand. You can make the most boring videos go viral if you're insanely interested about it. So the question is, are you passionate about your niche? If not, consider a change. Now, that being said, I recommend, like, are you still passionate? Like, you should be passionate about the discovery of learning how to get rich and the discovery of the learning of how to make content that people love and becoming obsessed with bettering your game and getting just better at this entire process. So I have channels that I really am not that passionate about, but I do it because I'm like, oh, it's kind of interesting, it's kind of cool, and I'll hire somebody that's probably more passionate to run the channel. So passionate is kind of a woo-woo weird word. Most people don't know what it actually means, so be careful of trusting your heart to make these decisions. The main thing is just like, are you obsessed with it? Some people do get that loss of obsession after 20, 30 videos. Then at that point, I'm probably like, okay, yeah, maybe you should go start another channel. You do want to be careful of sunk cost fallacy. So analyze market trends. Is there enough audience demand for your content in the new niche? So then risk versus reward. You want to weigh the risks of starting over versus the potential rewards of finding a better suited niche, or like better suited niche within your niche. If that makes sense. So like the basketball drama niche and stuff like that. And then ask yourself, is this sunk cost fallacy? Because sometimes I'll see where they're just like, oh, I invested so much money, I'm going to make this thing work. And it's just because they're like, oh, I put so much into this, I can't let it lose. The main thing I will say to this is what you don't gain in financial gain, you gain in experience. Which a lot of times, to be honest with you guys, the reason why I am so successful now at this point is not because I've made money on every single decision I made, but it's because of the failures that I've had and the lessons that I have learned in trying these things out. So a lot of times I'll see people, to be honest, like this is the fluffy rainbow information here about this, is a lot of times I will see people where they totally fail and bomb it on their channel and they just can't figure it out, and then they'll go start another channel and make like 10 grand in a week after doing that. So it's not the end of the world. Just be a little bit hesitant there of like, is this the end of the world? And then consider creating a second channel to test new ideas without abandoning your original niche. So if you're getting some traction, if you're making like a couple grand a month and you really can't figure it out, you could always start doing another channel amidst while you're doing your current channel. Try some things out and then pivot there. So if you guys are kind of stuck in growth, I know this video is about like you're getting no views at all, but consider like if you are getting views and you know it is growing but it's not at the rate you want, you could just keep going and then just start up another channel, and then try some new shit out on a new channel. So that's good. If you're in this position, like you should come work at it, like come work with us at FCA and we'll help you out with that. So Age and monetized channels. So pros of an age channel: establish trust in the eyes of the algorithm. So you can buy channels that, or even have channels that are like older, like that are 10 years old or even just a few years old. YouTube trusts older channels a little bit more in the algorithm, so it can just have that trust that's already pre-installed into the channel. Also, it's easier to rank and gain traction with new content because they just already trust it. You're less likely to be shadow banned if it's like, this works more importantly for like edgy content. So like things that are potentially against the TOS channels. So anything that's kind of more against the terms of service or community guidelines, then these age channels work a little bit better. Like if you're doing like a police body cam channel or something like that. Monetized channings, I only recommend getting one if you have other channels to leverage or a huge opportunity and afraid of not getting approved for monetization, or you're going to get millions of views immediately. You don't miss out on monetization review, because like if you get 1 million views in the first week of a channel, sometimes the channel takes like 3-4 days to get monetized and approved in the algorithm. It used to be like a month or 2 weeks at the minimum. And so back in the day when I was getting started, it was like I would blow up a channel, I'd get like 3 million views in a week, and I wouldn't make any money on it because I was getting so many views so fast because I was that good. So what I had to do is I had to buy monetized channels so I didn't miss out on the revenue that I was getting. Now though, the system's gotten way better around botted systems. So you don't want to do this unless you really know what you're doing. So if you're watching this and you're not getting any views and you have no idea what you're doing on YouTube, this is like one of your first channels, do not buy a monetized channel. It's a waste of money. Same with an age channel. Like maybe if you're doing like edgy content, go do that. But probably just stay away from the harder to get into niches, I would say. And then reviving a dormant channel. If you have an old channel that's inactive, you can revive it with fresh content. You can leverage the existing subscriber base and age factor to jumpstart growth if you're staying in the niche. If you're jumping to another niche, turn off the setting that's in uploading videos, post a subscriber feed when posting videos, and rebrand the channel. So this doesn't apply to most people, but shadow ban, we already covered that. Final tips and mental models for you guys. So don't be afraid to try new content formats, video links, or posting schedules. Now, if you're someone that's testing new content formats, video links, and posting schedules a lot, stop that shit. Limit your testing. Okay? It's either like, okay, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, test new stuff. If you're testing a lot of things, stop doing that. You just need to get good. Pick one content strategy, get really good at that content strategy, and then get views, and then you can try other stuff. And then use the YouTube analytics to track what works to double down on successful strategies. So when I say this is pretty broad, but you want to be looking to see, like, I don't care about anything like CTR, AVD that much. It's all relative. I care about views. If I'm getting views and more views, that's cool. My most viral videos that I've ever made, they have like 6 million views on them. A lot of times those videos have like a 3% CTR and like a 30% AVD, 40% AVD on like a 10-minute video, which is pretty bad. It's not that good. But it's because as your video goes out to broader and broader and wider audiences, your numbers are going to go down. So you want to make sure it's like somewhat healthy, it's like somewhat decent, but don't try to maximize a 20% CTR. If you have less than 1,000 impressions on your video, CTR and AVD don't matter. That's probably one of the things I should have added to this training, but here you guys go. If you guys have less than 1,000, like if you don't have that many views, like one of the things that I'm just like, ugh, is people that are like, Devin, my CTR, my AVD. Like CTR and AVD don't matter. That is the one thing that doesn't really matter. What matters is views. How many views are you getting? How much money are you making? I don't care about CTR and AVD that much. Like I look at it relatively. Like I'll look at the graph and ask myself, are people falling off fast, and how can we fix that? But I don't really specifically care about like having a high AVD or high CTR. It just naturally comes when you have good ideas and you have good execution around the ideas. So I just focus on like what is the actual thing that matters, which is views, good ideas, good execution. And then engage with your audience, respond to comments, ask for feedback, build a community around your content. Communities are huge. Honestly, it's a great opportunity in the near future. Consider creating a Discord or Facebook group to deepen the connection with your audience. This will help to accelerate things a lot if you can like have a community and then use your channel amidst the community. And then this is like the key part, patience and persistence. YouTube is a long game. Consistent effort often yields better results than trying to go viral. Set realistic goals and celebrate small wins to stay motivated. And sometimes some channels that are more evergreen take 6 months to get views on a video. So to wrap this all up, some key takeaways: focus on what's in your control, prioritize content quality ideas, quality packaging, quality execution. Make sure that you're linking your channel to the algorithm using good SEO when you're getting started. Make sure that you're making videos that people want to see. And then consistent engagement with your audience. Avoid shortcuts. Don't fall into the trap of buying views or relying on paid ads. Focus on organic growth. And then model successful channels. This is probably the biggest point out of all of it. Study and adapt strategies from your inspiration channels, but ensure your content maintains its unique value. Remember, engage and test. Use all available tools like community tab posts, end screens, and A/B testing to refine your approach. Consider a niche pivot. If you're not seeing results, assess whether a new or more focused niche could better serve your strengths and audience demand. So there you guys go. That's training. Maybe watch this a couple times. It's pretty in-depth, but this is going to probably unlock why you're not getting views. If you still have something outside of this, again, just be patient. A lot of this, like, if you're a beginner and you're struggling not to get views, it's just like, a lot of times it's just you get better at doing this over time, and you start to learn the process better, and you'll just focus on, like, just pretend like if you're not getting views, just know it's a skill issue probably, so that way you can get better and allow yourself to get better and develop better skills. Hey, if you're watching this, I hope you enjoyed this training. If you want to book a call with my team and I to help you build a profitable 6-figure faceless YouTube channel, then this is for you. We are taking on new enrollments as we speak. We are looking for people that are ready to take action, ready to get with it, and just want the best guidance and the best instruction that is out there to building a profitable faceless YouTube channel. So if that's you, if that interests you, and you're the person that wants to change their life with a faceless YouTube channel, down below we'll have either a button or the link in the description of the video. Basically go click it. We'll have a quick video you can watch before you go to work with us, and then what will happen is you'll fill out a quick application. We just want to make sure that we're a good fit to work together, and then after you fill out the application, you'll have a chance to book a call with my team and I. And just make sure you guys watch all the videos. That's the only thing I ask. But if you're somebody that seriously wants to just get it right the first time, or maybe you've already tried and you just want to get it right finally with your faceless YouTube channel, again, we're helping people build faceless YouTube channels. That's what I've been doing for the past 4 years. And as of the recording of this, we have over 400 students, and we've helped them generate millions of dollars over the past few years. So if you want to be a part of that, and you want to be a part of like a real community with real results, with real people and real systems and real processes, then this is for you. So just go down below, click the link in the button, or link in the bio, or click the button down below, and I look forward to potentially working with you. So thanks for watching.